ago, I was alone together with my father. Since ang ako niya mother, mga kauturan, I think 3 years old pa lang ako or 2 years old. Hangtod karon, kailan na ako karon, 22 years old na ako. Hangtod karon, wala din siya mabalik. I don't know where she is. I don't know. Hangtod karon, wala din mabalik. And hambal nila, ipa-MMK, magpakailanman, di magbabago, magpakailanman ko ng mga kauturan. Yung isa, hambal nila, ipabumburadyo. Hambal ko, hindi na. And I was alone together with my father during at that time because my brothers and sisters, they were on the market to buy some of our needs. To make the long story short, before sila nga adlaw mga kauturan, the unexpected event happens to my life. Prior sa sila nga adlaw, gitipon kami sa ngapon niya papa. Kami nga apat. Ambal niya, yung pakita niya iyang mga papilis, mga burial, lump sum, SSS. I don't know what documents ang mo itong ginapakita niya. Kumbaga, kung sa katigulangan mga sinultian, amo na to ang pamilin-bilin sa akon nga amay. Imagine, pakita yan. Ambal niya sa amon, hindi magamit yung gilini sa inyo nga pag-eskwela. I don't know what documents sa mo itong mga panahon. Now, to make the long story short, mga kauturan, after the day, ang akon mga bugto, naglakad sila, because I was just too young during that time. I was alone together with him. To make the long story short, nagsakit ang tughan ni Papa. Pagsakit sa iyang tughan, nagsuka siya. And then, mga kauturan, sad to say that after the event happens, wala na siya. Nawala ang ako na papa. Nadulaan ang kabuhi. Ayun mga kauturan, I don't know what to do during that time. I was just 6 or 7 years old during that time. I don't know what to do. Ano biglang mahimo sa bata pa ang imo nga amay tagumatayon. But you know what, mga kauturan? Ang ako nadumduman ng gay, before he died, I remembered his last word. You know what he said? Paano na lang ang akong mga kabataan kung wala na ako? And during that time, diragin na katulo ang akong naluha. That even in the point of his death, wala na kami nalipatan. I was just hoping that was only a nightmare for me. But tuod di kayo. Sa pagpadayon sa amon niya pag kinabuhi mga kauturan, sang gatubo nga nagatubo ang akon niya paminsa, I learned how to ask God. I questioned the Lord. Honestly, I questioned God. I asked the Lord, out of millions, billions of people in the world, why isn't niya ako pa? I was just too young that time. I don't know what to do. Sino na lang mag-alaga sa amon? Sino magpakaiswila sa amon? Sino na lang mag-provide sa amon mga needs? Wala na ganyan si Mama, si Papa, kikuha mo pa. The feeling of isa ka bata mga kauturan na walaan sa ginikanan? It's not that so easy for us. Hindi mahapos. But mga kauturan, without knowing that my God in heaven have never left me alone. Pagpadayon sa pag-eskwela, pagpadayon sa istorya, mga kauturan, ang akon niya mga tito, tita, lula, kaglulo, naghahambal na sa amon. Hindi na lang pagpa-eskwela ka! Mga sawa, mamana lang na naghihapon, mindset sa katigulangan sa una. Hindi na lang pagpa-eskwela, hindi na makatapos sa elementarya. Mga kauturan, by the grace of God, until now, naka-eskwela. Mga kauturan, how I wish nga buhay pang ako mga ginikanan. Nga nagapungko nila sa inyong ginapungkuan. And then ang ilang bata nagawali din. Yang sa una nga ginahambalan nga hindi na napagpa-eskwelahan kay hindi makatapos sa elementarya, subong theology na. I don't want to boast myself, mga kauturan. I just want to boast how gracious my God is. Nga sa una nga ginahambalan nga hindi na napagpa-eskwelahan kay mga sawa lang na nagyapon, subong ga-theology na, gawali na. I know how I wish, mga kauturan, nga akong ginikanan, ara dala sa inyo, nga ginapukuhan, kaya nagalantaw sila nga bata na nagawali sila. You know what, mga pamatanon, mga kabataan? Once nga ari ka mo dinikanin sa pulpito, di pa kayo ng ginikanan ninyo. I'll tell you, di pa na sila kayo. Because they know that you have the closer relationship with your God. And that's what I mean. And I remember katong high school ako, mga kauturan. Dito sa among nga school, since yung public school, sa ako junior high school pa lang, na-join ako sa mga competitions, hindi man kita maka-champion. Pero, and you know what? Ako galing nga, may araman sa award. This kanisa, wala lang yun. And I look up in heaven, Lord, why so unfair? I remember na ako niyang classmate, grado 65, 70, 75. Lipay ko yung ginikanan, di naman. Pastor nila bata, ako nga may medalya, biskan, isa, wala, kid. It's not easy, mga kauturan, to live without your parents. It's not easy. Now, what I'm trying to emphasize is this. Sa mga pamatanon, sa mga kabataan, while still you have the time together with your parents, spend time with them. Because we will never know what the future holds. We will never know what tomorrow comes. We will never know what is the next of this. Spend time with them. And that's what I miss. You might know someone as hopeless as I am. You might know someone whom you live for several years trying to reconcile with them, trying to bring them to Jesus, and for so long, nothing has changed. For so long, you want to bring them to Jesus, and yet, mga kauturan, walay may natabo. Still the same. Maybe a father who is a chain smoker, a drunkard, that you want him to change. But he doesn't change. The more you want him to change, the more he becomes something you don't want him to be. Maybe a relatives. And people in such a hopeless circumstances. Amen? And we're going to look what hope God brings to Zacchaeus. Beginning from verse 3. And he sought to see Jesus, who he was, and could not for the press, because he was little of stature. Now, brothers and sisters, let me elaborate this. Let me use my thinking. And I will give you a little bit background of Zacchaeus. If sala ko mga kauturan, just kindly correct me if I am wrong, but I know that Jericho is very close to the river of Jordan, where John was preaching, where Jesus was baptized. Now, while John was preaching in the wilderness, near the river of Jordan, you might also know that Zacchaeus heard the preaching of John. And you might know as well that he heard the teaching of Jesus. And we know as well, mga kautran, I know that he knows that guy which a problema. And we know as well that he knows the one of the disciples of Jesus who was in the same situation was him. Right? He was a publican, right? Was there a publican of the 12 of the disciples of Jesus? May ara pala sa 12 kadisipulo ni Jesus nga manugsukot sang buwes. Yes or no?
Not sure.
We badly need to read our Bibles. Yes, of course. Who was that publican who was with Jesus? It was? Very good. I heard someone says Matthew. Matthew, the tax collector. Matthew, the publican. Now, let me use my thinking. If I were that man, if I were Zacchaeus, who were disregarded by the community, who was a liar, a cheater, no one wanted me. If I were that man, mga kauturan, and if I heard a person who brings mercy, who forgives sins, this great master, this great teacher, who also has the desire in the same circumstances I, and that, the same disciple has turned his life around, now following this person who was loved by the people, who was regarded as pure, holy person now. I also have the desire that I want to be with that man. Right? That could sum up as a whole, mga kauturan, in the heart of Zacchaeus, and he might be thinking in himself, if Jesus can change Matthew, then why not I? If Jesus can forgive Matthew, then why not I? If Jesus can heal him, why not I? Mga kauturan. And his spirit of desire to come to Jesus, that one day, maybe one of his nobles, he heard people running. They were walking toward Jericho. Kapag kanto sila sa Jericho, mga kauturan, and he might be asking, dali lang gid. Unsay natabo, what's happening? And they might say, mga kauturan, haven't you heard Zacchaeus? The great master, the teacher, the healer is here. Jesus passed by Jericho. And I couldn't imagine the joy of Zacchaeus, mga kauturan, that the one he was longing for was there, so close to him. And what do you think he did? Well, obviously, he shut the door of his office, lakan niyang kahira, lakan ang bintana, lakan ang puwetahan, dalagan, run coming to Jesus, wanting to look for Jesus. The Bible tells us that Zacchaeus is longing for Jesus. Who was there? So close to him. Pag-abutin dito, you can see people that are flocking. There was a problem. You know what's the problem of Zacchaeus? Anong problema ni Zacchaeus, mga kauturan? Very good. He was, makarelate din yung may mga kulang sa height. He was short. He was short of stature. I don't know how tall people are. I don't know how short Zacchaeus is. But the Bible tells us that he was short of stature. And there he was, mga kauturan, very excited to see Jesus ang pag-abot dito. Maybe nakita siya sa mga tao. Panapon siya, no cards with him. He was the chief of the publicans, remember? And maybe mag-ana siya, mga kauturan, dahil din si Kristo. O naglingin po daw sa Zacchaeus, nangita ng Kristo. Balaan ba yan na? What you are doing here? You're such a sinner, liar. Then mangita kang Kristo? Okay na ka? Mga kauturan, how many of us here do we see people, they want to try to fix their broken relationship with Jesus? Zacchaeus was hated by the community. They don't like Zacchaeus personally. And Jesus was there, the only hope of Zacchaeus. And you know what? There were people there who are eager to come to Jesus, but they are actually the one standing in a way of a sinner who wants to come to Jesus. Let us all examine our lives, mga kauturan. Examine natin panagsa kabuhi. Are we in a way of people from coming to Christ? Or are we the people who are standing in a way of a sinner who does not come to Jesus? I hope and I pray that we are in a way of people coming to Christ. Mga kauturan, he could not see Jesus. Zacchaeus could not see Jesus.